We did lot of examples. I hope you people practiced it. Practiced, right? So go to 11 a.m. Under that, functions. So as a part of the functions, we learned about number of approaches. Some additional examples also we completed. So lot more examples done in the last session. So I'll go to index ones, and what will be the next topic in the functions will go. So here this part was completed. Even in the Saturday's class, some additional examples was explained. Now it is the time to see to go for arguments and parameters. Arguments and parameters I am going to talk. Let's talk about arguments and parameters. Easy, students. Let's start with arguments and parameters. Right. Simple. Students, parameters. Where do you use parameters? Parameters means what do you think about it? There are two things we already discussed it. One is formal parameters. Formal parameters. They're also known as what you know. Formal variables also we can call. They're also called as formal variables. Dummy parameters or dummy variables also you can call. Where we can use this formal parameters or formal variables? Already said, used in the function heading. Right. That part. Next we can use it what? Local local parameters, local variables. Local variables. Where do you use local variables? Inside the function body. That part totally we completed. So if I take an example, DEF, sum OP, A comma B comma C, there I am writing, D is equal to A plus B plus C, something like some operation D is equal to A plus B plus C, some E is equal to A plus B minus C, some F is equal to A minus B plus C. Here I am going to write it. Here, come on, D comma E comma F, D comma E comma F are called, come on, local variables. Local variables, or people can also call it as local parameters. Parameters. This part I already completed. Here A, B, C are called what? This part also completed, are called formal parameters or formal variables also we can call. So next, today we need to, this part already we had a clarity. And these two things where we can access inside the same method, same function body only. Now when you come to arguments, this is the very easy. This arguments also some people call it as actual arguments also people can call actual arguments. Actual arguments. C language terminology. C language terminology. Actual arguments. Also called as actual variables also people can call it. So this part, arguments are the variables first of all. The arguments are the variables. The arguments are the variables or values used in function call. Used in where? Function call. What are all the variables used in the function call are called what? Arguments. So example is what here? If I take an example, if I look at sum OP of 10 comma 20 comma 30. What is this 10 this is first of all what here? Don't take student. It is easy today. Function call. What is this 10, 20, 30 values used in function call? So 10 will go to where? A. 20 will go to where? B. 30 will go to where? C. So what is this 10, 20, 30 are called? Muddulu, come on. Arguments we can call. 10, 20, 30 are called argument values. You can call it as argument values, or some people will call it as arguments also. Argument values. In another way, you can pass it. In the main program, you can write it. K is equal to 10, comma V is equal to 20, R is equal to 30. You can call it a sum OP of K comma V comma R. K comma V comma R. What is this K comma V comma R are called? Argument names. So here K comma V comma R, K comma V comma R are called what? Argument names. That is called argument variables. Arguments are nothing but variables only. Easy. K value will go to A, K value will go to A, and B value will go to V, R value will go to C. So K, V, R values are going to where? A, B, C. So here, if you observe this entire description, the values of K comma V comma R are passing to whom? Are passing to whom? A comma B comma C. This is known as what? Arguments passing mechanism. Arguments passing mechanism. This is what we use it in C language, C++, etc. Every value of argument is passing to whom? Formal parameter. So that is what I'm going to say. The most important point you need to get from here is, what is the most important point? Every value of the relationship between, like this I'll write it. The relationship between, come on, arguments of arguments and what? Parameters. The two formal parameters. Formal parameters. What is that? Every value of what? Argument. Every value of arguments. Every value of argument or arguments passing to whom? Formal parameter. Formal parameter. Formal parameter or parameters. Parameters. This mechanism is known as what? Arguments passing mechanism. How many ways are there to pass this data? Here I am going to talk about. That is our next chapter. That is the next topic. That is known as arguments passing mechanisms. Argument passing mechanisms. How many arguments passing mechanisms are there? 5 arguments passing mechanisms are available. What do you mean by arguments passing mechanism? First of all, did you understand this? Come on, Mudhu. So, there are 5 arguments passing mechanisms. What is meant by arguments passing mechanism? Every value of argument passing to formal parameter. How many are there? 5. Number 1, positional arguments passing mechanism. It is a default mechanism. Positional argument passing mechanism. Positional arguments we can call. Some people can also call it as positional arguments. Second one is called default arguments. Default arguments mechanism. Third one is called what keyword arguments mechanism. And the fourth one we can call it as variable length arguments mechanism. Variable length arguments mechanism. Next, fifth one we can call it as keyword variable length arguments mechanism. Keyword variable length arguments mechanism. These are the 5 details we are having. 5 arguments mechanisms are there for us. How many passing mechanisms? 5. Number 1, positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments. In the day 1 itself, I said to you this arguments mechanism. In the day 1 itself, I said to you the arguments passing mechanism. If we look at that, take our functions example once, close this entire requirement. So I'm going to take up here this part you see, close this part. Here I'm going to close this project. So very slow, like you. So 11 a.m. functions, you take it. So all these things you close it last class, before the class, all those things, so many examples. Functions are very important, students. I'm saying once again. Approach number example 1.py. This day one, what I said to you about the functions is like arguments passing mechanism only. What is this AB? Mudu. Passing to whom? A. This B is passing to whom? What is this AB? What are this AB? What is this C? Local variable. Sorry. Now I will go to one more. In this function call, what is KV? Arguments. K value go to where? A. V value will go to where? B. What is this KV? What is this AB? This way of passing the data is called which mechanism? Arguments passing mechanism. Which arguments passing mechanism? Positional arguments. Actually, I can say without telling this topic, I can say it is over. But when you go to this is no Python student knows. And when you go to an interview, they will ask you what are the different types of arguments and parameters they will ask. And I want to tell it is not only one way to pass it, we are going to pass the data in these many number of ways. If you want to understand this, you have to practice daily. Then only you can understand. So I think the day one, day two, day three of my functions by default pass which mechanism? Positional arguments mechanism. What is the positional arguments mechanism? I will tell you. First, is it clear about it? So these types of arguments also must be clear. So I'll open a small documentation for you. I'll show you here, students. I'll show you here. Small notes purpose. So I'm going to take up here parameters and arguments. I will show you. Small concept. Come on, read out by yourself. Try to read by yourself, and I'll make it continuation. Online students, I hope you are understanding this. Read this kind of concept. Because if I read out, you people are sitting quiet and calm. You only read out. No, read in your brain. Read in your brain. Because we want to change a certain type of make you to work in the class. You think about it. Read out. మీరు ఉత్తగా చూస్తా ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి ఏం రాదు మీకు బికాజ్ ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ రీడింగ్ యు ఆర్ సిట్టింగ్ క్వైట్ అండ్ కామ్ I will just highlight it. You only try to read it. Local parameters used in the body. Use of this is to store the temporary results of the function processing result. Already I said in the first day of the functions only. The values of formals and locals accessed inside the function definition only, but not possible to access in other part of the program. ABC formal parameters used for holding inputs. This D are called what? Local variables. Actual arguments. Actual arguments is nothing but this one. Arguments are nothing but the values are variables used in the function call. K value, V value, R value. Sum OP of KVR. KVR are called what? Arguments. 10, 20, 30 are called what? Argument values. Most important. The relationship between arguments and parameters is that every value of argument from function call passing to parameter or parameters in where? Function definition. This process is called what? Arguments passing mechanism. I hope this is more clear. How many types of arguments passing mechanisms are there? 5. That I am going to open up. So read out this also. Based on passing arguments values from function calls to formal parameters of function definition. Arguments are classified into 5 types. Number 1, positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments. These many number of ways are there. I will discuss one by one all the things with a detailed concept I will explain. Online students, Is it clear for you? This parameters. And next is called what? This kind of concept. I hope it is clear. Now I am entering into a detailed discussion about which mechanism? Positional arguments mechanism I am going to discuss. Students, you have to, this is a very, very important concept. Every day you have to practice and come. This functions concept, ultimate. Logic development is important. Daily practicing, if you practice like a DTP operator, logics will not come. You have to understand, you have to memorize the subject, and you have to follow. And daily you need to practice. Only course completion is no use, like academic completion only. You have to daily practice it, daily close the book and then think over it. Then only we'll get the logics. Now I'm going to enter into positional arguments now. See, students, for certain reasons, whatever the example I'm going to tell you, those examples I'm not typing in PyCharm, because the PyCharm will help you how to understand immediately the coding. Suppose you see, for example, you say this one you see AB 10 is going to where? Come on. By default, it is showing here, right or not? So PyCharm is helping you by defaultly. You are without thinking your knowledge. You are just thinking that A is going to 10, B is going to 20. So by default, it is showing something. It is showing to you, but I don't want to type in the PyCharm. I will type it into Edit Plus. Why? Edit Plus will make you to think by yourself. Your intelligence is going to pick it up from this concept. Especially for this concepts, I will explain all these things in where? Edit Plus. That is the notepad kind of thing. If you want, I can copy paste into where? PyCharm and I can execute. So let me go to the first concept is what? Positional arguments I'm going to talk. So online students carefully try to follow. And I already said this concept already in the day one only we followed. This is an example of what? Positional arguments. What the positional argument says? How many arguments I am having? So how many formal parameters required? Two. How many arguments here again? Two. How many formals? Two. One is going to one, two is going to two, three is going to three. That is called what? Position wise you are passing. That mechanism is known as positional arguments. Why do you use positional arguments? See, each one is having its own importance. Each argument is having its own importance. If I'm going to positional argument, there is some purpose. Default some purpose. Keyword some purpose. Variable length some purpose. Today I want to talk about these kind of arguments mechanisms. Let me go to that. I will go to this place. Now I'm writing first time this example. Try to follow. What is that? Program for program for demonstrating the importance of importance of what? Positional arguments. Positional arguments. There I'm going to write it. What I'm going to write inside? DEF display STUD. Display STUD. SNO comma SNAME comma marks I'm going to take it. By seeing that, one can understand that what are SNO, SNAME and marks are called? One, formal parameters. That vocabulary I already said. Their importance also I said to you. So now I want to get it. Main program I am going to write it. To the main program students you observe. Student, I am taking display student of SNO value called 100. Name is called RS. Next 45.67. What is this is known as? Function call. See, if you don't speak out, we will be like that only. Me istam adi. What are these values are called? This one. Argument values. Next. Because of that, as I said already, three arguments are there. Compulsory three positional parameters compulsory required. These are the formal parameters. Anyone is missing or anyone is more or anyone is less, you will get type error. Which error? arguments not matching, you will be getting type error. So let us watch. Before that, I am writing some small description here. 50. There I am going to write it. There I am going to write it. Print of. There I am going to write backslash t, SNO, backslash t, name, backslash t, marks I am going to take it. There I will take up inside of that like this. I'm going to take up positional args example1.py. Positional arguments example1.py. So coming to this place, here I'm going to save it. Coming to this place, go to your location, 11 a.m. Under functions, I will take it. There you try to save. Coming to where, how you can execute the program from command prompt, I can execute. I can execute from command prompt. What is the tool you will use to run from command prompt? Hmm? Modulu, which tool you will use to run from command prompt? Hmm? Which tool you will use to execute from Python program from command prompt? CLI. ఏం బాబు మొద్దు. సో మీరంతా శంకర్ దాదా క్యాండిడేట్స్, మీకు ఏం రాదు అసలు, వేస్ట్. గో టు బ్యాచ్ మోడ్ ఆపరేషన్, 11 AM. చదువులేదు పాడలేదు మీకు అసలు. సో నోట్స్, Python and PY are the two tools used for running. So program, interactive approach, batch mode approach. Here I wrote it. Here, this one. Here you see. చూడండి మొద్దు. To run the program from Windows command prompt, we use two tools, Python and PY. Already run Python filename.py, py filename.py, example 1, example 2, example 3, example 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. మీరు చదువుకోకుంటే మీరు ఏం చేస్తామా, మేమేం చేయాలి ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ రీడ్? సో ఎవరు తీసుకున్న గోతులు వాడే పడిపోతాడు, మీరు కూడా అంతే. సో పీవై, ఎవడు బాధ్యులు గారు, చదువుకుంటేనే యూ విల్ గెట్ సంథింగ్, అదర్వైజ్ యూ విల్ బికమ్ వేస్ట్. సో py, positional arguments, you tried execute py, positional arguments, you got an output, this heading is coming, and you need to pass. I need to print this data, so I'm printing it. How do you print? Print of backslash t, backslash t, backslash t, dot format of SNO comma sname comma marks. You execute it, got my data. This is my data. Here the value 100, RS and etc. are passing. This is a specific data passing to number, name to name, and then marks to marks. This is comes under example of positional arguments. Positional arguments are always used for passing the specific data from function call to function definition. Positional argument says that, concept says that number of arguments in the function call must be equal to the number of positional parameters. If not matching, you will be getting type error. You see the type error here. You will get type error. Display student missing one positional argument. College name. College name is missing. Once it is missing, you will get which error? Type error. I'm showing pin to pin. I'm showing. If you don't get it, don't read, we are not at all responsible. Because the day one agreement paper also there. Day one agreement paper, reading, writing, practicing, everything is important. Anyone is missing, you're out of order. Day one only I said. It's your things you need to remember. Travis, specific data I'm passing once again, 65.17. One more specific data I'm passing, then 300 I'm passing, and here I'm going to write a DR and say something like 25. One more kind of thing I am passing. It is called 400. It is called something like SR and say something like, 65.56. This is my data. It is getting printed. These are all called what? Specific data. Passing to specific data. So, positional arguments are always used for what? Passing specific data. Number one point. Number 2 point, the positional arguments concept says that number of arguments in the function call must be equal to the number of formal parameters. That is the second. Third, it is recommended to maintain the order and meaning. Order means first to first, second to second, third to third. That is called position name itself says. Second, third thing is recommended to maintain the order. Number should go to number, name should go to name, marks should go to marks so that people can understand the consistency of the data. Consistency means correctness of the data. Suppose by mistake anybody passing like that. Now I'm going to enter. This is going to be called what Here I'm going to write it. Something like, something like, I'm passing something like, 55.55 and the next is called K. Next is called what something like 400. 400, 400. Next is called KV. I'm passing something like that. What will happen? Since Python is a dynamically typed programming language, 55.55 will go to number, that is illegal passing. 400 to name, that is not correct to pass. And KV marks passing to this place. This is a completely wrong mapping. How to execute? In this case, see the answer now. This is a completely wrong mapping. So positional arguments are missing the order that gives you inconsistency to understand the data. Then how to pass the data accurately now? Positional arguments are not working here. Then how do you pass the data? Even though you are passing the data like that, I want to pass the data perfectly. So 55 point like this order you pass it, this order if it is taking, we understood that the data is called what? Wrong in mapping. How do you pass the data perfectly now? 55.55 should go to whom actually? So I will write here some other mechanism I am using marks, whichever formal parameter is there that you are using in the function call as a key is equal to 55.55. 400 should go to whom? Muddu, S and O. Name should, KV should go to where? S name, S name. This is the one. Mark should go to this place. SNO should go to this place. S name should go to this KV. So, coming to this place, this mechanism is known as what? Function call with keyword argument. Keyword argument. It is not a positional argument. These are called which arguments? Positional arguments. These are called positional arguments. See here, with the positional arguments. With the positional arguments. These are with the positional arguments. Here I am writing with the positional arguments. With the positional arguments. But these are with which arguments? See the answer now. Previously, what is an answer? Now you got perfect answer or not? Earlier we got wrong, but we passed correctly. Suppose if you don't know this mechanism, if you go to multiple things in data science level, you will come across these mechanisms only. These mechanisms only will come across. That's why I want to discuss today about these mechanisms. So did you understand that? Come on. Right. Now I will go to one more. Display STUD display student. There I am going to pass it here 500 500 online students. Now I am going to pass it 56.23. Now I am going to write it something like John Hunter. Now if you observe it, this is going to be called what? If you think it is a positional arguments, last two entries are different. In place of name, marks are coming. In place of marks, what is coming? Name is coming. These two are supposed to be a problem. First one is okay. Then what to do then? What to do then? Here I need to write marks. Here I need to write what? Yes, name. Which mechanism it is? First one is positional only, but the last two are what? With the keyword arguments. With the positional arguments, the first one, and also what? Keyword argument. Both combined together I am using here. So you execute now. You got it? Got it or not? So in this case, you are supposed to understand. First one is called positional. Next one is keyword arguments. This one you understood, I think so. Did you understand the difference between positional arguments and then keyword arguments? In any of the order, I can pass it, but the data will be passing accurately or not. So, any of the order you can pass, but I'm passing the data in an accurate manner. And if you write like this, what way? You see, here I am writing, this is the one you are writing, and this is called a 16 dot. This is called something like this, and a comma 600. If you pass it, it gives you syntax error. Why syntax error? First you are using what here? Keyword arguments. Last you are using what? Positional you are using. Actually, in the parameters and arguments, if you go for it, PVM in Python gives the first preference for which arguments? Positional. High preference will be given for positional arguments. Later, other kind of arguments. But in my program, you are writing positional arguments in the last. Positional arguments you are writing in the last. You are writing first what? Keyword. This will give you the problem. So say take that. You will be getting syntax error. Look at the syntax error now. You are getting syntax error. Read out. Positional arguments follows keyword arguments. This is called a syntax error here. So this part I will carry as it is. This I will keep it comment only. This will give you what? Error. Syntax error it is. It is going to give you syntax error. This point makes you to understand the out of these many number of types of arguments, which one will be given first preference? Right. Later, other kind of arguments will be given preference. What is that other parameters arguments order? I will explain one by one. First of all, is the positional arguments clear? So, what is the use of positional arguments? Positional arguments are used for passing specific data, first of all. How? 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, n to n. That is called position basis. What is the concept of positional arguments is number of arguments in the function call must be equal to number of parameters, number of formal parameters in the function definition. Otherwise, you will get what error I said? Type error. Type error. And moreover, positional arguments will be given the first preference. If you don't give the first preference, you got which error? Syntax error. Online students, is this example clear? Respond it. It is not one day topic. Daily this topic will come across in front of you. Now I am going to talk about, in this case, if you come, functions, if you come, there I am going to show you positional arguments. I am going to explain. I am showing you the positional arguments because it is an concept I shown you. Question I was explained, coding I was explained. Concept I am going to show you here. All of you read out. Come on, read out. Positional arguments mechanism is the default passing arguments mechanism. That is first day only we discuss this only. C language will follow the same. C++ will follow the same. Java also will follow the same. But a keyword variable length, this is available only in Python. In other languages, you have only one mechanism only. But Python only provides so many other mechanisms. Read out. Mechanism used by PVM in functions of passing the values of arguments of function call to the formal parameters of function definition. Positional arguments concept says that every argument value passing to every formal parameter based on their position by maintaining order and meaning for higher accuracy. In other words, number of arguments must be equal to number of formal parameters. Positional arguments are concept always used for passing specific data from function call to function definition. PVM gives high priority for positional arguments. Definition. Function name. Param1, param2, param What is this? Function definition. Block of statement performs operation. Syntax. This is called what? Definition. These are called formal parameter. From today onwards, formal parameters, okay. Which formal parameters? Positional formal parameters. Formal parameters are going to be different types we are going to get. These are called what now? Positional formal parameters. So argument 1 passing to whom? Param 1. Argument 2 passing to param 2. Argument n passing to param n. So here the values of argument 1, argument 2, argument n function calls passing to param 1, param 2, param n of function definition respectively. Clear or not clear? Yes. Online students, is this concept is clear? Quick response is required. Now, second example I want to carry forward. Second example I want to carry forward. So what is the second example I am going to take care? Now I am going to carry this one. Observe it. Students, you try to carry forward this part, you observe it. Here, program for showing the importance of positional arguments. Here I am going to take it. One more thing I am taking here, backslash t, course. I am going to take it course. All of them are doing which course? Python course only doing, for example. Python course I am going to write it. Here I am going to write it. Python. I am going to write here Python. Here also I am going to write it Python. Here I am also going to write Python. Showing here Python. So here I am going to write it Python. So next, here also I am going to write Python. Python. Are you following this? So 100, this is the data. You observe this. There are 4 function calls are there. First 3 things you observe it. First 3 things you observe, 3 things you observe it. These are all called specific data. But all of them are going to take it which one? Which data? Same data it is taking. Same. It is taking the same data which is taking here. It is taking which kind of data? Same data, that is called common value for which calls? Similar function calls. For similar function calls, it is taking which data? Same data it is taking. So that time, what is happening? Number will go to number, name will go to name, marks will go to marks, but course is going to this place, but course holding, there is no formal parameter. It will give you what? Hmm? Very good. Type error. Why type error? Arguments mismatching. Remember all the ways? Arguments mismatching is known as type error. Invalid conversions are called value error. Go to the place. Here I am going to run py arguments 2. What is happening? Display student values takes 3 arguments, but you have given how many? 4. You have given 3 only, but you have given 4 arguments. You need to take definitely one thing or not? CRS. So I need to print a CRS. Getting me? CRS. Simple, students. Try to save the code. Execute more. So you got it or not? So what are these values? Are all of them? చెప్పండి మొద్దులు. What these are all? What these are all? Positional formal parameters. Already said. Try to habituate. If you don't remember, we are what way we have to improve. We are not a psychiatrist to give some medicines for remembrance. Once if I say terminology, you have to catch it quickly. So done. Now students, I got an output. Well and good. If we worry about the output, we got it. We got an output. We got an output. But as a good performance provider, We'll think about it. Sir, we are using similar function call 4 times. Similar function calls 4 times. Similar function call 4 times. Then when you are using similar function call 4 times, 100 passing, 200 passing, 300 passing, 400 passing, they are all called what? Specific, compulsory. Name and all these passing is called something. Marks and all these things passing something. But the name called what? Python. Same kind of value passed 4 times. Is it not waste of time or not? It is a waste of time. So there are 4 function calls are there. 3 values are carrying, this first 3 values are carrying genuine, but one value is available now. One value which is available, it is nothing but what? The Python value which is there is not recommended to carry every time. It is not recommended to carry every time. I think you are following. So, for example, if suppose if I am a teacher, carrying my tiffin box every day from my home is compulsory, but carrying the same laptop again and again from my home is my time waste. I'll keep my laptop in the office only because laptop is a common for all my classes. Are you getting it? So this value Python is not recommended to pass like that. It loses its performance. So Python to be passed how many times? Come on. One time. For how many times? For 4 times or 100 times or 200 times. I don't want to pass these many number of times. For example, this is another one. 500 here, 500 here. Something like John Hunter here. I say something like, something like this Python. I don't want to pass the same thing again and again. Output is coming. Positional arguments output is coming, but I don't want to get this. For that, second mechanism I am going to apply. What is the mechanism? Default arguments mechanism. So that I am introducing now. Look at that. High performance is coming with this example, and then don't pass the common value again and again. First point that is. Don't pass this value again and again. Don't pass it. Don't pass it again and again here. Don't pass it again and again here. Don't pass it. What do you do? Your SNO name marks CRS is equal to, you write Python in the function heading only. Here CRS is known as what? Default argument we can call. Which argument? Default parameter or default argument. How this is working? 100 will go to this, name will go to this, marks will go to this, and CRS is equal to Python. This is called what? Default argument or default parameter we can call. Are you able to follow now? So come on. First 3 are called what? Positional formal parameter. At the end only I am using what? Default parameter. Try to execute, demonstrating the importance of which one? Default arguments. Default arguments example dot default argument example 1 dot py. Default argument example 1 dot py. Easy. So easy. Execute. See that now. Py. Default argument example 1 dot py. Same output is coming. But am I passing every time here? Compared to my previous program, output is same. But which one is recommended? 4 times, 5 times you are carrying the same value. Along with my 3 values, 5 times, 5 into 4, 20 times you carried. But in this program, 5 into 3, 15 times only carrying. But this value carried only how many times you specified? 1 time. This is known as which mechanism? And these two are called what? Come on. So here CRS is known as what? CRS is equal to Python is called default parameter. Default parameter. What about these are called? Arguments. What about these are called? Positional formal parameters. What is this mechanism called? positional parameter passing mechanism. What is the CRS is equal to called? Default parameter. Are you following me? Online students, quickly. Next, go to next one more point. Look at, sir, somebody is learning Java, sir. That time, sir, what he will do, sir? Sometimes use look at. I'm going to take it 600. 600. Donald Trump. So see like this. He want to learn something like HTML. What is happening? HTML written like that. Start with. What will happen? 600 will go to where? SNO. Donald Trump will go to where? SNAME. 15.56 will go to whom? HTML will go to where? CRS. For that point of time, no problem. That means CRS is equal to Python is common for all of them. If some other student is learning something else, no problem. Next, I am going to write it one more here. I am going to write it 700 here, 700 here, something like, something like put in here. And he is called what? 35 point. He is learning again Python. That time you don't pass anything. First three are going to be like that. And the CRS value is what now? Python only. Are you following this? So 2.py, 2.py, online students. When there is a value common for many function calls, that time you go for what? Come on. See, this is HTML. Rest of them are Python only. Are you getting it? Right? Online students. Here, HTML, Python here. Next, one more example. These are all living in where, for example, India, for example, India. I never write what here. India, 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 India. I don't write. How many times I will write India value? One time. Which is the best mechanism to pass it? That's all. This type of strikes you how to get automatically. So I'm writing where I'm writing CNT. Country is equal to what? India, for example. Where I'm writing, you see, students, where I'm writing that all the default arguments I'm writing where? Last. First I'm writing what? If the order is changed, you will get what? Syntax error. Preference to be given for what first? Right. Otherwise, you will get syntax error. Execute now. I'm going to write backslash T. Online students. Here I'm going to write it what? CNT. CNT, na? Right here I will write country. Country. I'm writing. Execute it. I will write it. Default arguments example 3.py. Default arguments example 3.py. Save this code 3.py. Execute now. Py. Default arguments example 3. Are you getting India or not? But come to Donald Trump belongs to what? Come on. USA. USA. I'm writing. Next, he is also belongs to what? RSA. Something like that. I'm writing like this. See that? USA and what? India. India. What is happening here? Okay. Very good logic is going to come. Last one you observe it. This last one is coming to where? In course time, what is coming? RSA. How do you deal that? That is an important. I already said if you are an intelligent, you can catch me. 700 will go to this. PT will go to that. 35.6 will go to that. RSA should go to whom? CNT. Can you do the change? How do you write it? Keyword argument I need to use. CNT is equal to RSA. That to where I am using keyword argument. With the keyword argument. With a keyword argument. Very simple. Execute now. See, beautiful output will come. Execute now. Got it. RSA. Python is a default course. Next. Next. One more thing. Here I am writing it. One more I am writing it. Display student details. Here I am writing it. Like this I am having. Completely illa past session. You see, students, I am writing here something like Kim. Kim. So 11.11. Next is called what he is learning something like C language. Now he is going to be in where something like 800, 800, and he is going to be in where name, number, marks. Okay, one thing. Hmm? Country. Country, I will write it here. Country, I will write it here as what Uttar Korea, Dakshina Korea. Huh? South Korea, నార్త్ కొరియా. ఓకే. మీకు అంత నాలెడ్జ్ ఉందని సబ్జెక్ట్ ఒకటే రాదు. నాకు తెలియదు ఎక్కడో. ఐ డోంట్ నో. అవసరం కూడా లేదు. కన్‌ఫ్యూజన్. సౌత్ కొరియానా, నార్త్ కొరియానా కన్‌ఫ్యూజన్. బికాస్ నోబడీ విల్ ఆస్క్ వెన్ యూ గో టు సాఫ్ట్‌వేర్ ఫీల్డ్ రైట్? మనకు అవసరం లేనియి అసలు పట్టించుకోకూడదు. వాట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ నీడ్ దట్ యూ నీడ్ టు. యూ విల్ గెట్ ఎ కంప్లీట్‌లీ రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్ ఆర్ నాట్? రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్ విల్ కమ్. సీ కంప్లీట్‌లీ రాంగ్. నంబర్ ప్లేస్‌లో నేము, నేమ్ ప్లేస్‌లో మార్క్స్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. విల్ యూ అడ్జస్ట్ ఇట్? విల్ యూ అడ్జస్ట్ ఇట్? యస్ టెల్ మీ. నౌ యూ ఫర్గెట్. కమ్ ఆన్. యస్ నేమ్ is equal to marks is equal to next CNT మొద్దు కంట్రీ కాదా మొద్దు సిఎన్టి సిఎన్టి కంట్రీ గింట్రీ కాదు ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ చూడాలి ఇక్కడ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఫార్మల్ పారామీటర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ సేమ్ థింగ్ యూ టు యూస్ నెక్స్ట్ సిఆర్ఎస్ is equal to SNO is equal to with which concept this is with the keyword arguments with the keyword arguments execute now. See perfectly. If output is coming or not. This is the keyword arguments concept. I hope that default arguments clear for you. You cannot write this kind of data in where beginning. You cannot write like this. You cannot write. What will happen if you write like that? See, this will go, number will go, name will go, and next this will go. Well, marks not getting anything. This will give you problem. So, see this now. You will get what? Syntax error. Parameters without default. Parameters without default means positional. Follows what? Parameters with a default. That means default you have to write last. Beginning you need to write parameters without a default. And లేపండి ఆయన చూడండి. చూడండి ఆయన అసలు ఎట్లా ఊగుతున్నాడు. లేపండి ఆయన. Stand up. Come here. Come. ఇక్కడ కూర్చో. ఊగుతున్నాడు సింపుల్ పెండలం లాగా. Sit down. Now sleep. Because if you sit in the chair and if you sleep now, if you fall down, either leg will break or head will break. If you sit on the ground, if you start sleeping, no problem. మీకు తెలుసా చిన్నప్పుడు when you are in small age, when your parents put it into walker or something, you will sleep sometimes, playing. Sometimes you will sleep, right? What your parents will do? They'll put you on the ground. Even if you sleep also, no problem. Correct or not? Why? Why? More affection on the ground. Why? Even if you fall down also, no problem, na? By sitting in the chair, if you fall down like that, head important. Very nice boy. Sleeping. Night YouTube up to 1 o'clock. 2:30 or 1:30? 2:30 YouTube. Correct? Don't tell lies. No problem. 1:30, 2:30. 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. No, 1:30 only. 4 4 o'clock. They are saying, stand up, go there, sit there. Come here. Bring your chair and sit there. Move further. Move. Move. Now come to the point back. చదువుకోండి, నిద్రపోతున్నారు మీరు. 12 o'clock you are sleeping. Where are you? I don't know. 23, 24 years old came. So come to the point back. Now I'm going to move to the further. Is it clear? So online students, that means whenever I'm using any default thing, you should use in where? You should always use in the last. After positional parameters, you have to use what? Default. So default parameter can be one or more, and that to be I need to use in the last. So I'm going to use it now. Default parameters I'm opening now. Default arguments I'm opening. Read out now. When should I go for it? Read out. When there is a common value for a family of function calls, then such a type of common values must be taken as a default parameter with a common value, but not recommended to pass as by using positional arguments. Not recommended to pass. Already I said you, not recommended to pass like that. Recommended to pass by using what? Default parameter. That gives you more performance or not? More performance. So, like this. Syntax for function definition with a default parameter. D of function name, param1, param2, param n minus 1, value 1, param n minus 2, what? Value 2. Last two are called what? Default params. Param 1 minus 1, param n are called what? Default parameters. Param 1, param 2, param n are called formal positional parameters. Rule. When we use a default parameter in the function definition, they must be used as last parameters. Otherwise, we get syntax. Otherwise, we get error. What is that error name? Syntax error. That message I copied. Clear or not clear? Clear. So when do you go for positional arguments? When do you go for positional arguments? Stand up. When do you go for positional arguments? When do you go for positional arguments? Hmm? Formal parameter. When do you go for positional arguments? It a formal parameter. When do you go for formal parameter? Arguments. So positional arguments are used to pass the specific data 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 by maintaining order and meaning. Like that you have to say. మీరు నిద్రపోకుండా ఉంటే చదువు వస్తుంది. మీరంతా ఎక్కడో టాప్ క్వాలిటీ బ్యాచ్. సో మళ్ళా నాకు చాలా అనాలని ఉంటది. కానీ కంట్రోలింగ్. సో నెక్స్ట్ డిఫాల్ట్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద డిఫాల్ట్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్? వెన్ యూ ఆర్ పాసింగ్ ద కామన్ వాల్యూ ఫర్ family of similar function call, that common value must be taken as which type? Default arguments. Which arguments? Default arguments. Default arguments I will be passing. This is a mechanism. So I set the example also to you. So you may ask a question, sir, can I execute the same program in PyCharm? No problem. You type it in PyCharm only, no problem. So I'm going to say, go to default1.py, execute it, you go for it, execute directly. So got the same output. Only why I am not going for it? Because it is by default showing that passing to marks, passing to name, passing to number. By default, it is helping you to answer it. But if we go to this place, you will start thinking. Your thinking power will increase. That's why I'm going. Sleeping, listening. Sleeping, listening means what will happen? A layer will be formed in the brain. What is that layer? Same. మనం ఏ విధంగా వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వే యూ లిసన్, సేమ్ వే ఇట్ విల్ బి రికార్డెడ్ ఇన్ ద బ్రెయిన్. యువర్ బ్రెయిన్ విల్ బి క్రియేటెడ్ అకార్డింగ్ టు యువర్ మైండ్ సెట్. వాట్ యు ఆర్, సేమ్ మైండ్ సెట్ విల్ బి దేర్. రెగ్యులర్లీ రీడింగ్, ఇంటెలిజెంట్ మైండ్ సెట్. నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ రీడింగ్, సేమ్. రీడింగ్ నాట్ రీడింగ్, అది కూడా మొద్దు. రీడింగ్ నాట్ రీడింగ్. రిథమ్ ఆఫ్ రీడింగ్, సేమ్ బ్రెయిన్ ఆల్సో రిథమ్ ఆఫ్ రీడింగ్. సేమ్ టైం రీడింగ్, సేమ్ టైం మైండ్ విల్ ట్యూన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? It is, you are not a small kids to say all these things. So you got it. Default arguments example concept is done. Now I'm going to enter into the next mechanism. What is the next mechanism? Keyword arguments mechanism. Almost you are understanding the keyword arguments. One more example I will tell. Go to keyword arguments concept. I'm going to enter. In this case, observe it. So not this one. I'll open it. So I will take up Python here. Program for here I'm going to take up program for showing program for demonstrating the need of demonstrating the need of what is that? Keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Demonstrating the need of keyword arguments. I'm going to write it. Keyword args example1.py. Def something like display. I'm going to show it a comma b comma c comma d. A comma c comma d. I'm going to write it. Here I'm going to print it backslash t a value, backslash t b value, backslash t c value, backslash t d value, format of a comma b comma c comma d. A small function. So my interest is what main program I am writing. Main program I am writing. There I am going to write it. Print of. There I am writing 50. There I am writing 50. So here I am going to write it. What I am going to write? Print of backslash ta, backslash tb, backslash tc, backslash td. I'm going to take. There I'm going to take a display 10, 20, 30, 40. What is the rule here? For A, always 10. For B, always 20. For C, always 30. For D, always 40. That is the order to pass the data. This is called what here? Function call. Function call with positional arguments. Execute it. So, execute it. Go to the place, keyword argument example1.py. Go to the place, execute py. So I'm going to, okay, it was saved in some place. So I will save it into my location. Here I will take it 11 a.m. functions here. Inside of that, keyword arguments example1.py. Execute, bracket close, problem. You execute it, got my values. That means for A, B, C, D values, exactly passing this data, I got the data done simply. Since I developed it, this is developed by KVR. This is called by KVR only, reused by KVR only. In our programming, what we do, we are going to use it. Somebody else will develop it. Somebody else will use it. Suppose you developed this. I want to use it. That means I know your function name. I know the parameter names. I don't know the order of it. ABCD na, ACBD na, or ABDC na, or ABDC na. I don't know. I know the parameter names. I know the function name, but I don't know the order of the parameters. If I know the order of the parameters, I will pass in the same way. Right or not? So I will write it what? Display. Suppose 30, 10, 40, 10. Like this I am having. This is called a 20. This is the function call with positional arguments. If you go, for example, is it disturbing that mapping or not? Disturbing the mapping. This letter is supposed to give in this home. He is giving this letter to some other home. He is just totally exchanging. I don't want that. Why this problem is coming? He is the user. He is reusing this function without knowing the order of the parameters. What are the parameters? I know A, B, C, D, but I don't know the order. Simply tell me without know. Let it be same thing. Positional arguments is not maintaining the order here. What should I do? C is equal to A is equal to, and next is called what? B, what is that? D is equal to B is equal to. What is this concept called? With which concept? Keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. You execute it. You execute it. What happens? Okay. You execute it. See the answer now. Are you getting or not? Are you following? If you go to some functions, actually the good bit call. Suppose if you go to NumPy, one small thing I am writing. There is a function name called I. I is a function. M comma n is equal to none. N is equal to none. K is equal to minus 1. K is equal to minus 1. D type is equal to some float. Next is called order is equal to some C. Like that, some type of data is available. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఒకసారి అది. By seeing this function, what is the M here? What is the M? Modu. Positional. What is the N is equal to K is equal to D type is equal to etc. They are called what? Default. So if we go to this place, if we go to this place, if I go to this place, these are all I am going to tell you in the classroom. That when I start Python with data science, import NumPy as np help of np dot I np dot I. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి, మైండ్ బ్లోయింగ్. N, M, K, D type, order, star, device, like. These are all called what? Parameters. Python is not a joke. If you come and sleep in the class, actually, would మిమ్మల్ని తీసుకోడు అసలు ఎక్కడ. They won't take even in Kirana shop also. Why? If you sleep in the Kirana shop, what will happen? Problem. These parameters you have to remember. A genuine Python programmer will remember parameter names also. The total Python code, I will remember parameters with orders, with values also I remembered. And such a beautiful class you are attending here. That's why keep your body under your control. If you are not in your control, things are totally poison for you. So coming to the point back, we know the function name, we know the parameter names, but we don't know which order they are going to be. Next, display 40, 10, 30 or 20 and 30. What is this? Pass it. D is equal to A is equal to B is equal to C is equal to. What is this now? Function with what? Keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Execute it. Am I getting this data or not? Now I will take it next. Display 10, 20, 40, 30. 40, 30. Come on. This is also first two are matching, but the next two are going to be different or not? First two, okay. Next two, problem. So how do you write it? D is equal to C equal to. First two are called what? Positional arguments. Next two are called what? Yes, keyword arguments. And keyword arguments. Execute it. So you got it. Are you following me? This is the way how you need to remember. Is it keyword arguments concept is clear? Yes. Now I will write it. In this case, if you want keyword arguments, I will post it. I will show you the keyword arguments here. Somewhere else, keyword arguments mechanism I am showing. So please observe it, read out, start. In some of the circumstances, we know the function name and formal parameter names. We don't know the order of the formal parameter names. And to pass the data values accurately, we must use the concept of keyword parameters or arguments. A, B, C, D, I know. But order I don't know. A, B, C, D na or D, C, A, B na or DBCA now. I don't know that, but I know four parameters. That order we don't know. The implementation of keyword argument says that all the formal parameter names used as arguments in the function calls as keys. So this is a one function name, param1, param2, param n, got the data. Syntax for function call, function name, param n is equal to value n, param1 is equal to value 1, param n minus 1 is equal to value n minus 1. This is called calling with arguments. So here param 1 and orchid what arguments? Keyword arguments. When we specify keyword arguments before positional arguments in function call, we got which error? Already you have seen the syntax error, right or not? So this is about which concept? Keyword arguments. So if you look at positional arguments is for passing the specific data in the order. This is for what? Passing a common value once in the function heading. This is called what? Passing the data of specific in any of the order by using the formal parameter names as a keys in the function call. These are all different mechanisms of passing the data. Understand? Right. Next, I will introduce variable length arguments. Online students, is this three are clear? Respond all of you. Is this three are clear? Quick response is required. Now I'm going to enter into the keyword variable length arguments. Let us go to the keyword variable length arguments. Very, very simple. After understanding all of them, I'm going to enter into the variable length arguments. Program for demonstrating the need of variable length arguments. Need of what? Variable length arguments. How do you go for it? Here I'm going to take variable length args example1.py. So I'm going to take up, be careful. Coming to main program, without late, you have to get it. Display, what is this? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. What is this now? Function call, already done with 5 arguments. With how many arguments? 5 positional arguments. With 5 positional arguments. Are you getting me? Right. Next I'm going to, when you go to this function call one with 5 positional arguments, what I will do? DEF display A comma B comma C comma D comma E. E. I will print as what? Print of A comma B comma C comma D comma E. This is called what? Function definition. Function definition 1 executing. Function definition 1 executing. So go to the location, save this code. Here I am going to take up 11 a.m. functions here. Save this. Variable length arguments example 1.py. Py, see that, got the data. No issue. One function call, one definition. Next, the story starts. Online students. Here I am passing how many? 4 arguments only passing. What will happen? Function definition call 2 with how many arguments? 4. Is this second call matching with the definition 1? No. Which error will come? Type error will come. Already you know. Type error. Type error. This one. Type error. Then how do you deal with it? Come on. How do you deal with it? Generally, student will say, but you are not saying because you are a Sankarada MBBS. You are not saying anything. Generally, student will tell to me, sir, write a function definition with how many arguments? 4 arguments. Write a function definition with 4 arguments. Write a function definition with 5 arguments matching with the fifth, matching with the second. Like that, they will go for next. This is called 3. Definition 3 with 3 arguments. with 3 arguments. Next I will write what? I will write with what? 2 arguments. 2 arguments. Here it is going to be called 4 with what? 2. Next I am going to write it what? 1. 1. Definition call 5 with what? 1 argument. Obviously, I will write it. This part I am going to take up. This is ABC. I am writing DEF 3. 3. This is called ABC. Got it. Next I am going to write it AB. AB. DEF 3. DEF 4. So there I am going to write it AB. Next I am going to write it what? 1. 1. Are you following this? This is called 1. I am writing DEF1. Carefully try to follow. This is the one definitions I wrote it. Now see students carefully. In this case, what happens actually if they are 1, 2, 3, if there are different functions, no problem. This is called 5. No problem. Happily, there is no problem at all. This is display 1, display 1, display 2, display 3, display 3, display 3, display 4, display 5. You save this code, you save this code, execute, see that, got it. What happens? Here E, here E. You execute it, you see here, got my data. These are the different functions are there, different function calls are there, no issue. But the issue is what? I'm going to use it family of similar function calls with what? Variable length parameter values. With what values? Variable length parameter values. Variable length parameter values. Whenever I am using similar function call with what? Variable length parameter, variable length arguments values. That time, if you write it, what happens? Same function name. Do you know what happens? It will give you syntax error. Generally, student will do what? 5 arguments concept will execute definition 1, call 2, definition 2, call 4, call definition 4. Like that, they will execute. They will think, but it will not. Because this program will not execute at all. What is the reason? First, it will come to line number 3. Next, it will come to line number 5. Line number 3, line number 5, same function name is there. When it comes to line number 5, PVM forget about this display with 5 arguments. When it comes to line number 5, it remember about what? Line number 4 only with 4 arguments. When it comes to line number 7, it remember about what? Line 3 arguments only. When it comes to line number 9, 2 arguments only. When it comes to line number 11, it will remember 1 argument only. So it is same function name. Which function will remember? Latest function definition only will remember, because the PVM is one of the interpretation process is doing. It can't remember previous function definitions. It remember about latest function only, because the PVM is one of the interpretation process is doing. So line number 15 error, 16 error, 17 error, 18 error. It will only 19 will execute. See the answer now. Error will come. Line number 5 arguments is error is coming. Go to that. Keep the comment here. Online students. Execute. Again error is coming. 4 arguments error is coming. Again comment here. Again execute. Again this is going to be an error. This one error. Again this is an error. Error 2. Error. If I keep comment, only one. Last one it is getting executed. So whenever there is a situation like that, it cannot execute. What is your opinion? Here I am writing this program. This program will not execute, will not execute at all. Because why it won't execute? Because PVM performs interpretation process, interpretation process, and remembers, remembers what? Latest function definition only. Latest function definition only. Latest function definition only. So this program will not execute at all. Did you understand the reason? Then how to execute this? Online students, did you understand the system first of all? Did you understand the system first of all? Because it is not an interpret, it is not a compiler based, it is a interpretation. Sir, how to execute? Now I am going to apply my intelligence. If you are a good student, you will come to know. Sir, this is the one 2.py. This program will execute as it is. This program will execute as it is. As it is. As it is, it will execute. Sir, how? It will go to this one. Go to the place. Here I am writing execute. This is one thing. This is one thing. I am going to write it. This is going to be one more here. Here I will write it. This function calls are there now. This part I am going to cut it everything. So I'm going to write it. This part I am going to take up. So next I'm going to take up. This also I'm going to cut it. Here I'm going to write it. This part also I'm going to take it. This is here. So what is this system of execution? Define it and call it. Define it and call it. Define it and call it. Here you observe. I defined it. I defined it. I called. I defined it. I called. There is no problem of interpretation here. How? Madhu, you are getting out of order. 6. It will go to this. Execute. It will come. 8. 8 remembering. Milaga. Today understanding. Today remembering. Tomorrow forgetting. Tomorrow's remembering. Day after tomorrow remembering. అంతే ఏ రోజుకి ఆ రోజే నాలాగా డైలీ రిమెంబరింగ్ childhood days to up to here, no, because you are all not reading. That's why interpretation process. Go to variable length argument example 2. Output will be coming. Online students, go to 11 a.m. functions super 2.py execute py 2.py. Got my output. What is the drawback here? What is the drawback? If I am having 1000 function calls, how many definitions I have to write? 1000 function definitions I have to write. It is my waste of time. It is my waste of time. Online students, are you following? It is my waste of time. If I have 2000 function calls are there, how many definitions? 2000. But I don't want. What I want? 1000 function calls are there. 1000 function calls are there. How many definitions? One definition only. 10,000 function calls are there. One definition only. 1 lakh function calls are there. One definition only. That is the concept of what? Variable length arguments. Variable length arguments concept I am going to apply. Shall I do that? What is the concept? Having thousands and lakhs of similar function calls are there with variable length arguments 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 variable length arguments. For that, need not to define those many definitions. How many definitions I will define? Only one. That only one concept I am going to define now. Let's go. So to this place, I'm going to enter into this place, copy this entire thing. I'm going to enter into next one. So here, others, Python here, observe it here. I don't write these many. I don't write these many. Here I am writing pure variable length arguments. I don't write these many, but I will take these many number of function calls. How many definitions I will define? Only one. So what is the concept now? What is the function name? Display. I am going to summarize. Whenever there is a family of similar function call with the same name, with what? Variable number of arguments. Variable number of arguments. I need to define how many times? Only once I will define. That will take a parameter. That parameter must be preceded with with a symbol called what? Star. With a symbol called star. Asterisk. Any parameter preceded with a symbol called star. We call that parameter is variable length parameter we can call. That parameter can hold similar type of values, different type of values, all types of values in a single variable with unique and duplicate with immutability. That parameter is which type? Tuple type. Similar type of values of same type, different type, all the types with unique and duplicate with immutable is called what? Tuple. Already tuple explained. So I will take it star KVR. Here star KVR is called Modulu variable length argument whose type is whose type is class tuple. Class tuple. Sir, can you print it? KVR comma type of KVR. First one you keep it. This one you keep it. Something like this. Keep it like that. You execute. Now I am going to take it. Pure variable length arguments. Go to the place. Here I am going to enter into this. Try to run. Here PY. There I am going to write it. Am I getting or not? This is the data. Which type? Tuple. So I'm going to tuple. Now I'm going to take next. Remove the next. Here I'm going to write like this. Execute. Here you see. Got it or not? 4 I got it. Next, how many times I defined? One time only. But how many function calls? Family of similar function call with what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. You execute it. See the answer now. Got it. All the values. Even you don't define anything. Even you don't define anything. Last one also empty came. How many definitions? Muddu. One definition only I got it. For how many? Family of. This star param is known as what? Variable length. If we go to this, you got to do star. What is the star indicates? Variable length. Even in చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Even without telling also I can finish my Python. That is what people are doing outside. Our Python is not this institute level or college level or university level. It's an extending of MNC's level. You have to remember all these things. Default, see this kind of thing. This is a subject you have to remember. I think you are following me. So online students, is it clear for you? Next, you can, this you remember it. I will post the concept for you. Today I will, tomorrow I will continue because still the examples I need to give. Only first example I said, second I will tell, third I will tell. Because I don't want to make it too much hurry. After this, I will continue tomorrow, second and third of what? Variable length. But I'll post the notes of what? Variable length. Family of what? Similar function call. I'm not defining again and again, again and again. I'm defining only one function preceded with what? Star parameter. That is known as what parameter? Variable length parameter. It can hold what? Multiple values of same type, different type, all the types in a single variable with immutability. Which type it is? Tuple type. Tuple type. You can print it. Those values also. Those values also you can print with for loop and all. With for loop and all you can print it. So I can write it. For value in where? KVR. You can print that value. Backslash T. Backslash T. I can write it. Dot format of what? Well. Dot format of well. So you can say something like this. You can say something like ending of that. Execute 2.py. After printing everything, I'm just closing. That's all. So see this. Out of that, you execute it. Py 2.py. So got it. What is this now? Number of values are coming. Are you following this? Last one is not coming anything. That indicates what? Length. If you want, I will write number of values is equal to, how do you write it? LEN of KVR. KVR is called what type? Muddu, tuple type. 5 values, 4 values, 3 values, 2 values, 1 value, 0 value, nothing is printed. This is about this example 2. Tomorrow I'll go for what? Example 3, example 4 of what? Variable length itself. After that I will go for what? This fifth one I will go for it. Right? While I am explaining this fourth, I will carry this positionals, keyword, everything I will carry. And you have seen already while I am explaining, keyword I included, positional I included, default I included. If you don't read and come, you will look at like a Greek and Latin. బిత్తర బిత్తర చూపులు చూస్తూ ఉంటారు మీరు. రైట్ ఇన్ కాలేజ్ చూసి ఓకే అక్కడ ఏం ఉండదు కాబట్టి నథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఓన్లీ బ్లాక్ బోర్డ్ వైట్ చాక్ పీస్ క్యాంటీన్ అది ఇది ఉంటుంది అంతే అక్కడ ఏం ఉండదు. దట్ ఇస్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ నౌ. బట్ హియర్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ రీడ్ అండ్ కమ్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం. సో టుమారో క్లాస్, సో ఐ విల్ go for variable length rest of the example plus keyword variable length also I will discuss. Don't miss it. Thank you. Carry on.